it gets really, how to say, interesting. Because the reason AI initiatives fail mirror exactly the mistakes non-visionary leaders make in any transformational effort. The first is there's really a learning gap problem. The core issue isn't the quality of AI models, it's researchers refer to as a learning gap for both tools and organizations. While these executives blame regulation, as I'd mentioned the cause and effect up earlier, or model performance, MIT suggests that these flawed enterprise integration is the root cause of these failures. Enterprise integration. Well, what is that? Think about some of the questions, or at least questions you should be asking before implementing artificial intelligence is the who, what, why, when, and where. Who's going to benefit from this? Why are you doing it? Where is it going? And how are you explaining it to your team? Because this enterprise integration is a major issue. I agree that it makes sense to implement AI initiatives, but it makes no sense if you yourself can't explain why you're doing it and how you're going to integrate it. So think about this. Generic tools like ChatGPT excel for individuals because they're flexible and they're adaptable. How these companies attempt to deploy AI in a scale, they often use brittle, static workflows that can't learn or adapt to their organizational context or culture. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole and then wonder why it doesn't work. It's just a crazy methodology. And the second is misaligned expectations and poor integration, this is the root cause and reason for failure. Again, don't blame AI and the technology. It's misaligned expectations and poor integration. Here's why visionary thinking becomes so critical to the success of a technology like AI. Most companies are making poor decisions, not about which technology to use, but about how to integrate it into their operations without having a clear direction and vision and step process to how to execute it. They're treating AI like a plug-and-play solution like we did back in the day on CRM, EDIs, whatever it happens to be. And ERP systems back in the day when they tried to plug them in and SAP went haywire as a result of that. So they're treating it like a plug-and-play solution rather than a transformational tool that can reimagine how work gets done on a day-to-day basis. And let me give you a few examples of what I see out there when I'm working with AI teams and working with leadership within these CPG brands. It's a pretty predictable pattern, and here's how it goes. They fail to prepare their organization for change, number one. They don't invest in learning capability that makes AI valuable, number two. Number three is they expect immediate ROI without building foundational capabilities, and then they implement disconnected use cases instead of coordinated strategies. Boom, 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 boom. All of these are typical in any organization. And there's also the visionary gap. And here's a foundational issue. Companies are focusing on present problem without a future vision. And they're asking a question. How can AI help us do what we're doing now faster? I get that all the time. And it's a ridiculous question. You have to understand why and how and when you're doing this before you even execute a strategy for AI inside of your organization. And they should be asking, how can AI enable us to do things we've never been able to do before? Interesting contrast. And nobody asked that question. This is the difference between operational thinking and visionary thinking. And let's talk about that visionary approach. How do these 5%